48% of Canadians believe that they'll never own a home. So being in the industry for the last 10 years, what advice can you give to new home buyers or first-time home buyers navigating this market in 2024?
For first-time home buyers, I feel like the advice that I would give them would be centered around.
In today's episode of the Maker podcast, I sit down with Sandy Tang, a real estate professional with over 10 years of experience in the industry, spanning across residential resale, new home development, and investment properties. We cover a variety of topics so you can be fully informed about the Calgary real estate market in 2024. Hope you enjoy. Thanks for being here today, Sandy. I appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, thanks. I'm excited to be here. This is a cool setup.
Thanks. Yeah, I just thought it was a really pertinent time for us to chat because, all of the economic factors relating to the real estate market, along with this kind of recent migration to Calgary from all these different parts of Canada.
Yeah.
So from your perspective, what do you think are the unique aspects of Calgary real estate that set it apart from other regions in Canada?
Yeah, Calgary is it's a very unique city because Calgary is the city where you really get best of both worlds. You're able to, experience that urban city living life, but then you're also surrounded by the stunning landscapes and the mountains and be able to, access all the outdoor adventures. And I feel like a lot of people move to Calgary not just for the home, but for the lifestyle. And so obviously Calgary has great growing job opportunities, not only the energy sector, but also other sectors like technology and finance. But people truly move here because of the lifestyle. They really get best of both worlds in that balance. So I think that's what really sets Calgary apart.
Right, yeah. Recent polls show that 48% of Canadians believe that they'll never own a home.
Yeah.
So, being in the industry for the last 10 years, what advice can you give to new home buyers or first-time home buyers navigating this market in 2024?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. For first-time home buyers, I feel like the advice that I would give them would be centered around, being educated and being prepared. Being educated is, making sure you're on top of market trends, making sure you're understanding the market. You could speak with professionals in order to, assist you with that. For example, mortgage brokers, financial planners, or a real estate professional who's able to guide you. But also being financially prepared as well. There's a lot of things that come into purchasing your first home, like setting a budget for yourself, saving a down payment, getting a mortgage pre-approval if you haven't done so already. Those are really crucial steps. And just, making sure you're staying educated. But there's professionals who are out there who will be able to assist you, like myself, as a local real estate agent, and be able to keep you informed through every step of the way and really take that stress off the journey to really assist you.
Yeah, I love what you said there about staying informed. So what kind of tools or resources would you recommend for Calgarians or people in general to stay up to date with real estate trends or with the market in general?
Definitely, education is key. Making sure you're doing your research, because a lot of the times when you're seeing stuff on social media, not all the information you're seeing is accurate, right? And so making sure you are connected to a real estate professional who is well experienced, who's able to provide you with up-to-date information, because it's our job to stay updated,
Right.
And so leveraging multiple different resources, whether it's, doing your own research on Calgary Real Estate Board publications or notable websites that you can actually rely on. But yeah, just reaching out for the expert guidance and advice.
Right. Are there any specific websites or resources that we can access just as non-real estate agents, or do you always kind of suggest that we speak to a professional?
You know what, it's going to sound biased, but I'll always direct you back to speaking with a professional, because sometimes you'll be looking on, websites. You could do the research yourself, but you may not fully understand what's happening.
Right.
And so when you are working with a professional, they'll be able to really keep you informed and really break it down for you so that you fully understand it.
Okay. So I was also hoping you could speak a little bit on seasonality. Is there a best time to sell your house or a best time to buy?
Yeah. I feel like people are going to think that a real estate agent's going to tell you the spring market,
Right.
I just had lunch with a girlfriend and she said the same thing. We were talking about how the spring market, everyone thinks that the spring market is the time to buy or sell. But it's, I feel like when you are thinking about buying or selling your home, it's incredibly individualized. It's when you feel ready, like you have to look at your personal circumstances and see whether or not you're emotionally prepared to do so, you're financially prepared to do so. And if in your gut you feel that you are ready to make that move, to enter the real estate market, you should. I don't think, timing is a factor, but you ultimately have to do it based on your personal circumstances.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So with that being said, do you feel like there are any strategies that you can give us to help homeowners kind of maximize the appeal or maximize the value of their homes when they are ready to sell?
Yeah, this is gonna come off completely biased, but my ultimate strategy that I would give to any seller who's looking to sell their home and really maximize their appeal is to work with an experienced real estate agent,
Right.
And it is so true because when you are working with somebody who's very well experienced, they're going to do everything that they can to really highlight your property's unique features, whether that comes from staging the property, to hiring a professional photographer. We're going to leverage all different types of channels so that we're able to expand the reach to more potential buyers. And working with an experienced agent is really invaluable because they'll be able to do all of that for you, and they're looking out for your best interest. So in order to really maximize your appeal and get the best value for your deal, you should be working with a professional real estate agent. That's
Okay.
my advice.
Good advice. Good advice. A little
Was that-
biased, but
Right? But it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
You can try and do it yourself, and it's still, you're not going to be able to utilize all the resources.
right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and honestly, like it's kind of best to outsource those things rather
Totally.
than kind of spending all the time to try to figure it out yourself.
Yeah.
And you want to kind of just be able to find somebody who you can trust and kind of leave that in their hands.
Yeah.
Like, do you have any advice for anyone on how to select the right agent for you?
Yeah, I think, interviewing, definitely doing your research. I love building relationships with my clients, and I think that's really important. And that's a lot of the relationships and the clients that I work with are, they're lifelong friends now.
Right.
And, once you build that connection, it's so much more than just a transaction. You're working with somebody to help them make one of the biggest purchases of their life. And it's such a incredible journey to be a part of. And that's why, when you are working with somebody that you truly trust, they're going to do everything that they can to look out for your best interests.
Right.
So,
Okay, I love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's great. So obviously you kind of spoke on all of the really great things that there are about living in Calgary or investing in Calgary real estate.
Yeah.
Can you share maybe some misconceptions, like some common misconceptions that you kind of run into about Calgary real estate?
Yeah. I feel like the biggest misconception that I get about the Calgary real estate market is that Calgary's real estate market is very volatile because it relies heavily on the oil industry.
Right.
And like born and raised here, I'm Calgarian. We're known for oil and gas, but Calgary is so much more than the oil industry. And our city is very diversified now. Like I mentioned before, we have other industries such as technology and finance.
Right.
And because of all that diversity, our city is very resilient and has been stable over the years. And we don't just rely on the oil industry. And yes, energy prices do influence the real estate market, but only to a point,
Right.
So I think that's a huge misconception. A lot of people bring that up quite often. And then another myth I would say is that people would say that Calgary mirrors national trends. So they think what's ever happening nationally, it's the same here in Calgary, but people forget about other factors such as, employment rates and new job opportunities and
Right.
immigration. Like we've had so many people move to, Alberta in the last few years, specifically Calgary. And, that's what makes us really unique. But everybody sees what is happening nationally and they put Calgary in that same category. And it's not always the case. Calgary is very resilient.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so with that being said, are there any key considerations that people should make before relocating to Calgary or
Yeah.
looking to enter the real estate market here in Calgary?
Yeah. Obviously, like relocation, it's such a, it's such a big step, especially if you've never been in the city before.
Right.
Because there's a lot of my buyers are from different provinces, and they got a new job or opportunity, or they're just looking to relocate because they think it's a better overall cost of living here. And a lot of times they're not even coming here prior to actually,
Wow.
Purchasing their property. And so research is so encouraged. Like research is key, education is power. Making sure you're understanding each neighborhood, really figuring out what it is that you want that fits your lifestyle, and then taking other factors into consideration as well, like such as proximities to school and transit
Right.
and commute times, and if you want to be close to outdoors, all those I would say are really important. But then also working with a local real estate agent, and I'll just keep going back around to this, but it's so true because if you work with somebody who really knows the market inside out, they'll be able to figure out and understand what you are looking for, and they'll be able to assist you in making an informed decision, right?
Right. Yeah, makes sense. So obviously when looking at real estate, there's going to be a lot of diversity
Yeah.
in the types of people who are like looking to either buy a new home for their family or invest or maybe even downsize. Like how do you approach
Yeah.
clients with diverse needs?
Yeah, I think, every buyer is different. And so I don't put every buyer into the same category. I create a very personalized approach when I'm dealing with each individual buyer, because something, let's say, for example, if you're working with an investor who's looking to purchase investment property, things that are important to them, like the potential rental income or return on investment, may not be important to somebody who's looking for their family home.
Right.
They're going to care about proximity to schools and being in a family friendly neighborhood. So it's really working with your clients and really listening to them and understanding their specific needs and their aspirations, and then tailoring your buyer's roadmap that way to be able to assist them, because every single person is very different. So yeah, I would say just really listening to your clients, fully understanding what their needs are, and then helping them create informed decisions that way.
So you've been in real estate for 10 years here in Calgary. You're born and raised here.
Yeah.
Where do you see the future of the Calgary real estate market moving, and what factors are kind of important to look at when it comes to that?
This is the $1,000,000 question.
Right.
This is the question that I probably get asked probably multiple times a day. As a real estate agent, I feel like everyone wants to know what your thoughts are on the real estate market. I would say, Calgary's real estate market does look very promising because, when you look at all factors such as new job opportunities, employment rates, and the influx of people who are migrating here interprovincially, as well as the city, I feel like the city has really put a lot of money into infrastructure, and that's really expanding, such as, money towards transportation and amenities and artwork and accessibility. Those are all huge factors that play into how the housing market's gonna look. And also if there's, right now, obviously we do have a shortage of housing, but if there's more homes that become available due to new construction, right? And if interest rates continue, if they decline, which a lot of people are projecting that they will be, there's going to be increased buyer activity. And so I'm very optimistic for the Calgary real estate market, especially for 2024.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's good news.
Yeah. Yeah. You should buy a home.
Right. Soon. So we've covered a ton of topics about the real estate market itself, but I'm curious about you, Sandy. What got you into real estate? How did you get into real estate? There's a lot of people currently trying to get into the industry right now.
Yeah.
So can you just share your story with us?
Yeah, I got my license in 2014, so it's coming up into 10 years now. So I actually started off as a leasing consultant for a downtown high-rise project, and that's, when I was helping people find places to live, that's kind of what ignited that spark for me and made me realize that I want to be in real estate. Right. I then joined a real estate team at Remax. I was able to work alongside very experienced agents that were great, that offered great mentorship for me. And I did that for a little bit. But it really wasn't until I kind of stepped into the new home sales. So in 2017, I transitioned from resale to new home sales. And I then worked with multiple different builders, multiple different developers, oversaw many different projects, and contributed to the success of every project launch. And I did that for about 7 years, and that's where I really figured out that was my niche. That's what I wanted to do. I loved everything about pre-construction, from the start of building a home all the way to a completed project. And then the last 2 years were huge milestones in my career. I was able to sell well over 300 homes in 1 year.
Wow.
And from there, I decided, I want to get my real estate license back. I want to focus on, expanding my horizons, being able to work with all types of buyers. And then 2023 got my license back with Remax, and so it's been a whole little journey, but it's been fun.
Yeah, I feel like, right now especially, I feel like there's a lot of people who see money in real estate.
Yeah.
And they're looking to jump into the industry.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's still a good time to begin a real estate journey, and what tips might you have for people starting out?
Yeah, absolutely. I think if anybody, if you feel passionate about helping people buy homes, or if you're curious about it, you just want to try it out, do it. I love real estate. I can't really picture myself doing anything else.
Right.
And I'm a huge supporter for those who want to enter the industry as well. And, once you become a realtor, you'll realize that it's so much more than just selling houses, and so much more than the transaction side. It really is about building relationships and networking and collaborating. And my advice would be be open-minded. be open to continuous learning. It's okay to ask questions. It's okay to reach out to other agents and ask for their advice and mentorship. I'm 10 years in and I still do that. I've built great relationships with other agents. I have a really great broker, and I'm always asking for advice because, you should never stop learning. You should always expand your horizons. And so I think if you are excited and you want to try something new and you're open to learning and opening to, stepping out of your comfort zone, do it. Yeah, it's a good industry to be in. It's fun.
Amazing. Love that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for doing this, Sandy. Appreciate it. I learned a lot today. And yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was so fun.